I'm Dave,
And I'm Marie.
and we're here with another What's Sold on eBay video.
Yep, this should cover our sales for the last couple of weeks or so. Probably not most current though. We're
Yeah,
trying to get caught up.
we've been kind of this is a bunch of them probably from December actually is when most of
Yep,
these were from.
beginning
So
of December.
so and before so.
So the first item we've got here is Nautic Jeans Company pullover fleece. It's a good color, nice, soft, great condition. You just want to make sure the fleece isn't pilly or funky, but it had a good spell out on it, so we picked it up. You're not going to get high dollars for it, but it sold pretty consistently. So it was $19.95, and we charge shipping. So, and the next item, this is a pair of Bassman shoes. These are one of our older listings. We probably bought these more than a year ago. So these particular ones here, a little more worn than we'd probably buy now. We generally try to stick with these because Bass isn't like a high-end shoe. So if you're not going to buy high-end shoes, if you're in a market where you don't see a lot of the high-end stuff, you got to go for the new. I mean, brand new. So, but we got $24.95 for these, and we charge shipping. So we probably paid $3.99. This is something I just stumbled upon. It's Sun Mountain. You didn't know what it was, so when you don't know what it is, you look it up. And it doesn't have a market. It had a good market. So Sun Mountain Storm type short sleeve. It's more like it's a golf, obviously. It's a golf like windbreaker. But they seem to be consistent sellers. And again, they're not high dollars. So if you're not going to buy something high dollar, because you can't live, you're not going to always find the $300 items. So you got to have some of your more basics. Look for the bigger sizes. This is a 2XL. So the larger sizes, you're not going to be able to do super well with a lot of smalls and extra smalls and things like that. But the big items, even if it's just a normal everyday brand, you'll turn it over quicker. So $29.95, so we turned $4.99 into $30. SASs, these are always a good seller. This is these were like new, very.
Yeah, real good shape.
Yeah, and the red is not a great color, but this was a really nice deep burgundy. Cordovan is actually the color, but yeah, these sold fairly quickly. I mean, they weren't listed for very long. They sold for $80. So. I think I took a best offer on these for $69.95, but still $70 for something I spent $5.99 for, and they're nines. Which it's funny with the SAS men's shoes, the big sizes aren't any more popular than the
Right.
normal medium sizes. But these things were like brand spanking new. So, yep,
And
they sold pretty quick.
What would you say an average men's size is? Isn't 9
10.
kind of 9, 10, and 10 is about
Ten's
the
the
average?
average, right in the middle
Right in the
there.
middle. Okay.
But there's 11 and 12s are very popular, and anything below a 9, you're getting into a small shoe, But there are plenty of men with small shoe sizes, And you got to remember, if you've got a son, as kids are growing up, and they're gonna, they're gonna be wearing those shoes too. So these are Brooks Brothers. Excuse the wrinkles on these, but we got a ton. We got 10 or 12 of these I picked up, I think.
Was it really that many? Yeah.
Something
Wow.
like that. It was a lot of them. But they were all at the thrift store all at one time. Usually, a lot of times when you find one thing and you're like, oh, this is a really nice shirt, look for others because they seem to travel in flocks.
And they may not be all together either. Sometimes the thrift store will put them out at different times, and they'll get put in different sizes, or people carry them around. So, but if you see something really, really good that you found an Untuckit or something like that, start looking through everything. You're gonna have to. When I see that, my heart kind of sinks because then I know I gotta go through every single men's shirt.
But you find bundles of stuff.
Yeah.
I found 3 Roar shirts at one time. With these, like I said, I think 8 or 10 of these I found at one time, and they were all in excellent condition. Right. I mean, excellent. So we were taking best offers on these for $19.95. So we charge shipping. Yeah. So it's still moving right along. This is a sweater. This is Chaps Ralph Lauren, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. The reason we don't normally buy Chaps that often, because Chaps is kind of like the newer, this is a more vintage sweater, but we just
It just doesn't bring a lot of money.
no,
and,
not at
and
all. But this color just really,
It's all the colors. It's
yeah.
all the stripes and everything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just something that stands
If
out.
it jumps out to you at a thrift store, it's going to jump out to somebody else
right.
too.
And again, it's not a
And it's-
big
but-
dollar one, but
Right,
but
but it's still
$29
got to
is
be a
not bad.
name brand, So, but yep. These are candies. I probably would never buy these again but they were unusual. They were all wooden, and I took a chance on them. So for $3, I turned it into 25, and they sold pretty fast. Those I think sold pretty quick.
Yeah, and these, like I say, when you see them, if it's something different, look them up.
Yeah.
This is a Ford radio. We sell a lot of these, not a whole lot, but we sell our share of them. This is a replacement radio. This is the original radio that came with this particular Ford, and we find that maybe dealers buy these to replace them. When somebody gets a new stereo, they take it out the old one and they set it aside, and when they sell their car, they take the new stereo out and they leave a hole there. So dealerships will sometimes look for the original one so they can just plug and play it, and they don't have to do a lot of retrofitting or anything to get it in. So long story short, you can get anywhere from $50 to $400 for some of these different things.
Yeah, some of the newer, fancier ones. Yep.
The only thing you need to be careful about is, and you need to disclose what it is. If you haven't tested it, if you don't know it works, and you have to say, it's untested. But 90% of the time, they're going to work fine. I mean,
Yeah.
we've never had the only.
We don't test them.
Right. The newer ones require codes, and that's why sometimes it may not have a code, and that may be a problem. So you have to kind of let that people know that this is untested, basically.
Yep.
So.
This is Tommy Jean's pullover fleece. Again, it has a fleece lining in this. Really nice colors, nice markings. That's what you're looking for, is the big boldness on these things. And it was an extra large, so it was a half zip, and like I said, fleece lined, kind of a windbreaker. So
Yeah. The more flamboyant Tommy is,
Oh,
the
yeah.
more
the
it's going to
bigger
sell for. The big flag on the front here, the little spell outs on the side. People want the brand to show, so people know that you're wearing a Tommy.
Us women understand that with our purses,
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, this was $5.99 and sold it for $70.
Yeah.
UFOs. These are comfort recovery shoes. And for those of you who don't, I only know because I had plantar fasciitis really bad, and I'm on my feet all day. So I was doing the hunt for, but recovery shoes help you recover from, the feet tiredness at the end of the day. But these particular shoes are really expensive out in the real world. So if you can find them in the thrift store, now they wear out easy. So you want to make sure that they're in good shape. But you always can do well with any one of these. This is their least expensive least expensive style to buy. They have clogs too. So these were $34, but they're $59 online.
And they look like they're in really good shape.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. Doc Martens, these are crazy.
I think we talked about these in one of our haul videos
Yeah, absolutely.
when we found these.
Yeah.
These have been modified. Okay, you'll notice the very tops of them here. If I can get that to hold on there, it's kind of rough around the top there.
Oh
It looks
yeah,
like
I'm sure somebody cried that when they saw the listing on these.
Yeah, because so basically what happened is somebody cut the tops of them off. These were actually boots that went up higher, probably
These are
over the ankles.
The
right
most
up to
desirable,
mid-calf.
most desirable Doc Martens is these are the made in England, with the green and black rub off. I mean, we're talking like one of the most expensive boots to buy.
Yeah, somebody just
and
took
cut it off
scissors
and made
to
it into
or whatever.
shoes. I mean, if this was a boot, you're looking at a $200 boot, maybe $300 boot, something like
Yeah.
that. They're very the green rub off is extremely unique.
Yeah.
But we still got $79.
Right, even so. And
Yep.
we disclosed it. I mean, down
Yeah.
here, well, I don't want to do that.
I remember he asked, the first question he asked was, "Who cut these off? Was it you?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no."
No.
That's how we found them.
But they bought them, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
These are cycling shoes, cross-country cycling shoes. I don't know anything about them. I just, again, they look like they were quality. I looked them up. $39.95 for something I spent $5.99 for. So we are again in Tennessee, so we try to pick up some, especially the vintage stuff. This was in excellent shape especially for vintage, and as much white is on it. But yeah, we just look, it's a full zip, really nice. It has just a couple little marks on it for vintage, which is ideal.
yeah, and here's a little tip, too. I think we learned this from Rally Roots probably, but take a pen and point to the blemishes if you're going to disclose it.
Actually, I think it was Tino.
Well, Tino,
Yeah,
too, yeah.
yeah. But that'll give them, one, a perspective of the size, and two, so they know what they're looking for.
Right.
But yeah, this brought decent money. I mean, you never know with vintage stuff what it's going to bring, because it's really hard to find an identical comp. So this was just some crazy find we came across somewhere along the way. I don't even know what possessed me to buy
I
this.
found this at a thrift store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at a thrift store in Virginia, but yeah, it was, all that is in gold, shiny gold, and it was, I think, I'm pretty sure it was NBA. Was it NBA marked?
Yeah, it's all the NBA teams. It's different.
I don't remember the label.
You got Chicago Bulls, but it's got every NBA team on it, which is odd. I mean, usually it's one team, but this is like got the entire NBA.
Yeah, and
on
it's
it.
a hoodie, not small size.
And we just today got a good review on this.
Yep.
Actually, the person really liked it.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah,
cool.
That worked out nice.
It's another one we featured in one of our haul videos.
Yeah.
NYU vintage.
Right, the vintage, the material, it's called all kinds of things when you read about it. This is a reverse weave, and it says right on the tag, reverse weave. But the bigger schools, Notre Dame, NYU, Boston College sometimes, but you see, champion reverse weave medium, you can tell it's a vintage. The thing weighed a ton. It was, the vintage sweatshirts are heavy and thick.
Right.
But yep, we spent $4.99 for it, and we sold it for $50.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things. Just I couldn't leave the poor little puppies there at the store. But this is Schleich is a common manufacturer of these resin animals and so forth. But a nature set like this, when you have the mother and the father and the puppies, you got the whole set. They're not rare. But I mean, I think it was only $4.99 at our thrift store, and I sold it I took a best offer for $39.95 on that. So, yep.
And this is a Harley Davidson shirt. You've heard us talk about Harley Davidson shirts before. They're regional, territorial, dealerships. This was one from actually Chattanooga. It looks like. So right down the road from us, and we just got back from Chattanooga on a thrifting haul. You can see that on the other video that we have. But anyway, yeah, it's a very colorful shirt. Double XL, that always helps. The bigger the better.
Skulls down the arms.
Yeah,
and,
it's
great graphic.
Tried to show some of the different features of it, but yeah, I mean it sold for $30, and we paid $1.99 for it probably.
Yeah.
These are Black Hawk Warrior men's tactical pants. So a lot of times sheriff's departments, EMTs, soldiers of fortune, whomever. But yeah, they basically have a lot of padding in them for one thing, and a lot of pockets in them. But I guess these are not Kevlar or anything.
No.
They're just
they've just got a
style.
lot of pockets.
Yeah.
They've got, as you see, there's like 3 pockets down each side. They're made out of a very durable tactical material. This has the holsters in there. If
right.
that's what that is the.
Does this one have the tourniquet too?
Yep,
There's one
that's
that
the
has
internal
yes.
internal tourniquet system.
Right. So if you get shot in the leg or whatever, you can
it's
tighten
right there.
up your tighten up your pants and keep
Well,
shooting.
they're underneath the flaps. There is where the tourniquet system is.
Yeah.
You can see there, and that'd
Yeah.
be. I just can't
Yeah.
imagine planning for something like that. But I guess it's good to know you got it. So.
Yeah.
But yep, that's what that is. So those were. This is a brand I don't like never buy. So these are probably 100,000 years old. They are soft, which very great comfort brand, good shoe, just doesn't have a big resale market. So they are leather and everything, just not something that I normally buy, but they were in excellent condition.
Yeah, and that's the key. If it's in excellent condition, we wouldn't. Today, we probably wouldn't buy it at all. But
the reason I bought these, though, they were 99 cents.
Right.
I mean,
and they're in excellent condition.
Yeah.
If they were the least bit worn, you're not ever going to sell them. Probably.
No, exactly.
You're going to sit them forever. So.
And they were a wedge, so they're a more popular style. But yeah, they were. There was a thrift store that had like this. Once a month, they had a 99-cent sale.
Yeah.
So I picked them up there. These were Kuru is a plantar fasciitis shoe. That's the only way for me to, if you look them up online, very expensive shoes, very comfortable shoes. Unfortunately, they don't, this particular brand, I bought these actually for myself and they just didn't fit well. So I had to part with them. But yep, they are, if you ever see that brand, they've got to be in good shape, but if you ever see that brand out, it's a great brand to look for. I personally have never found it in the wild, only from my closet.
How much did you pay for these when you bought them new?
They were on sale, so I probably paid what I sold them for.
Okay, so we about broke even
on them.
On them. That's good.
Yep, I think I wore them twice.
And if you're just starting out and you want to, you need some inventory and you've got stuff that you're not wearing or whatever, even if you lose money on it, technically, it's still cash flow. It's still money in your pocket. That shoe is not putting any money in your pocket. But if you sell it, you get some money in your pocket. You could go buy some more thrift that you can make even more money on.
Yeah, because if you gave it to Goodwill, you weren't going to get anything. So.
Right. And if you just keep it in your closet and can't wear it, you're not going to do anything with it. So
exactly.
Might as well. If you sell it at a yard sale, you're going to get $3 for it. So.
Yeah, after they beat you up, you know. So this is just a FootJoy long sleeve, plain old mock turtleneck. It was just in great shape and it was a good size and I liked the color, so we picked it up. It even had a country club or a logo on the thing, but golfers, a lot of their gear is they're looking for the comfort. They don't care if it has another golf club on there. So $24.95. So these are I probably won't buy these again, but because they took a while to sell and I can't stand patent leather like that. But these are Rockies, which are military shoes, for military servicemen, dress police, nothing old vintage or dressy. It's just made for like core frames in the service. But this was worn more by a police officer or something along those lines. They were in great shape and everything, but they were expensive. I spent $10 on these, and I only got $34.95. But I was glad to sell them and make them go away.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
And a Green Bay Packers hat, which we may actually we might have got more for it this week, being that the Packers are still in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Anyway, $14.95. I mean, nothing big. We probably paid $1 or $2 for this. Maybe if we paid anything for it, I don't know. Might have been one of those. I got at the bins. I bought about a pound or two of hats, so that cost a couple bucks. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Fin Comfort, always a good seller. I didn't, when you're looking up your comps, that's when you can get the names of these. I have no idea that they were called a Tofino. But always, Fin Comfort has an insole a lot like Birkenstocks. So just, make sure they're in good shape and they're high quality leather shoes. They're sized like Birkenstocks, and don't hesitate to pick those up because they will sell.
Yeah.
And they're usually between $39 and up. I had a pair of sneakers that sold. We had them listed for $100.
Yeah.
Sold in 2 days. So Bass, again, I don't buy a lot of Bass unless they're really good price. So if I'm there on half price day or something like that, these were just in really nice shape. They were just slip-on loafers. Bass a lot of times has the name right in them. So these were, I've never seen this style before, but these were called the Darcy. They had leather wrapped heels, and they were real interesting shoes. But anyways, they were in great shape. And got $25 for them. This Harley Davidson boots. These were, I don't know how I stumbled upon these, but I did somewhere. These aren't real weird chunky heels, odd looking things. But anyways, they were hard to find, and a comp for them, but did the best I could. But they very all rubber sole and leather upper, but I think I probably paid $5.99 for these and sold them for $49.95.
Yeah, and Harley Davidson boots, not all Harley Davidson stuff
No.
is necessarily worth lots of money, and especially the boots, they just really need to be. Women's boots are, unfortunately worth less than the men's boots are.
And the
generally.
ones that zip and all of that, the ones that look more modern, that are part leather and part material, they don't bring anything. Really,
Yeah.
just check your boots.
Yeah, you really got to check
But these
the
were
model.
just totally unusual, with these bizarre chunky heels and stuff, and they sold really fast.
Yeah, you really have to check the model and
Yep.
the exact, boot that you're looking at, because they're not all the same.
Yep. Eyeglasses. We sell eyeglasses. I look them up from time to time. I don't know how I ended up with this particular pair because they're kind of odd. But I bought a bunch of them at the beginning. Make sure you can read your numbers inside the eyeglasses. It makes your life easier. Always, if you can, pick up silhouettes. They have quite the following, and but these were Safilo, which is a very run of the mill brand. Notice $29.95, but they cost nothing. They're usually $1.99. They take up no space in your house whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, they're nothing. They're one of the easiest things. Them and neckties. Not that you can make a lot of money off of it, but geez Louise, if you got limited space.
There's a YouTuber called the Dorky Thrifter, the Dorky Thrifter, and she at one point lived in an RV with her family, and they sold eyeglasses was one of her specialties. I don't think she's put out any content in the last year or so, but she does have some older episodes, so you go
Where
check.
you
Go
shows you
check
how to
her up.
clean them and
Oh, yeah.
build them, and it's all cheap. It's just a really cheap. I mean, if you're broke and looking for something to get started in, it's like, well, I don't have money to. Okay, $1.99
Yeah.
most glasses.
And you can get $40, $50, $100 sometimes for them.
I've sold some for $100 easily. And
Yeah.
neckties, another thing, cheap,
Yeah.
cheap, and they don't take any space. One good sized tote in your bedroom, you could stock your whole inventory.
We have all of our glasses, and we probably have like 50 pair of glasses in one half tote. I mean, it's
Yes.
maybe 6 inches high and
Yep.
36 inches long and 24 inches wide or something like that.
And the
But, I
same
mean,
with
yeah,
our ties.
yeah.
We probably have 50
The same.
ties in the same type of environment.
Right.
Yeah, that's if you have to, that's a good. They don't turn over fast. That's the only problem with
And
it.
there's something that a lot of resellers aren't really hawking.
Right.
When the shoes and clothes is very competitive, everybody's looking for those. But eyeglasses and ties, it takes some work to go through them and really look at them and try to get the little numbers on the edges and all. But it can be worth it, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have tons of money
And
to
if you're
throw
in a
around.
market where the ties are $1.99,
Right.
some of our thrift stores we walk in, all ties are 99 cents.
Yeah.
And I mean, I went into a thrift store one day. They were having a sale. Ties and scarves were 99 cents. I found a Gucci tie that I sold for $100.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Cole Haan, solid seller, consistent seller, not a huge ton of money. Some Cole Haans bring a ton, some don't. So men's bring more than women's, obviously. But this nice solid pair of shoes sold them very fast.
Yeah, not your
So-
typical looking Kohan,
No.
too. You wouldn't expect that to be a Kohan if you just, at first glance.
Yep.
Kind of cool looking shoe.
Yeah, $30. These are Sperry topsiders, not
Your typical Sperry
no,
topsiders either.
I couldn't believe it when I saw them, and I said, "Okay, so here we go." But yeah, they were $39.95. They're nice, They had like a little fuzzy lining and everything. And gosh, I could have done a little better job cleaning the front of that one.
Yeah, we
but-
paid $6 for them.
Yep,
So,
$6 into
Yeah.
40. Yep. They have a following, so people that love them love them. These particular shoes, Sesto Miucci, these actually they sell for good money. They're an expensive shoe, I guess. They these particular ones very unusual, so I picked them up. They were very inexpensive. These were on sale. These were half price, so picked them up. So they were $2 and sold them for $44.95. They weigh nothing. They're like paper. Clark's Artisans, these Delsey pumps, the Delsey Bliss and so forth, they're kind of solid sellers, but they've got to be in excellent condition. These, I don't even think these had been worn. Maybe worn once, maybe at the store, but you can see the tags are still on it and everything. So, and these always seem to be in bigger sizes, it seems. But yeah, these were 9.5. So sold for $39.95.
Yeah, a lot of times if you can find a nice looking, women's shoe that's in a 11, 12, 13, whatever.
As long as it's a brand that people,
Right.
I mean, you can find a beautiful shoe, but if nobody's looking for it online, you're never going to sell it. But like if it's a Clark or something like that, even if it's a plain, that's a very plain shoe, but it's a basic shoe that people need.
But I think sometimes though, if you've got the unusual sizes, like for a women's shoe that's a 14,
13, 14s, yep.
if somebody might just shoot, search like pumps 13, size 13, and they may find your shoe that way. But you're right, you should stick with the more known brands that somebody's going to look for,
or the more known styles. If it's a very basic style that for work or for this is another end of the market, is like I said, the bigger women's feet, they're hard to find shoes for.
Yeah, and this one still had stickers on it and everything, so it's in really good shape.
I mean, this is your average shoe size, 9.5 is
this particular one is, yeah.
But I mean, I've had these in a size 11, so too. These are Laredo men's boots. These, I stumbled across these at the thrift store. They have, I can't remember the name of it, but they have this extra little, like snip toe. That's what I'm thinking of. When the toe of it's like cut off, like it looks like it was snipped off. But Laredo, it doesn't bring a ton of money, but they're consistent sellers, so it depends on what you can buy them for. If these were $15 or $18 or $20, I wouldn't have bought them.
Yeah.
But they were $7.99 in our thrift store. And I sold them for $60.
Yeah.
Nice looking boot.
Yeah.
Excellent condition. These are Crocs. Crocs, your regular Crocs, you're not going to get a ton of money for them. But if you do buy regular Crocs, the bottoms better be new, pretty much.
It needs to be perfect.
The other side of Crocs is the mixed media Crocs, where they've got suede, they've got leather, they've got fuzz, they got fur. Those are fairly consistent sellers, you'll see a lot of the clogs have other materials with it, a vinyl, a cotton, those seem to sell, and these were in great shape.
Yeah.
So, I picked them up for, $3.99, sold them for $30. Chacos always sell if they're the standard Chacos. I've had Chacos that were the shoes. I can't remember the name of them, but they don't sell as fast. And, and surprisingly for little money, but the ZX1, ZX2s, they tend to really, really sell well. And the great part about these is when you buy them, just, on the back is the size. That's the other thing. No one knows where to find the size on the Chacos unless you're a Chaco wearer, and I wasn't when I started in this, but the Chacos are right at the back of the heel. And the W is women's, and you've either got a dot or a dash, tells you whether it's a wide or not a wide. So the thing about Chacos is they're completely washable. So if you get ones and they're in excellent shape but they're dirty, just put them in the sink and wash them. These things were filthy when I got them.
Right.
And you just wash them.
And they sell quick too.
Yeah.
Generally, it's a real popular brand. So.
Yep. Everyone's looking for them, and they're expensive. These were weird. Mark Nason is a high-end boot, fancy boot. You wouldn't want to wear these out on the farms. But these are clubbing boots, I guess. But these were at this little thrift store that we have in the next town up, and they were having a sale that day, and the guy gave them to me for like $3.99. They were like $20, but I don't know why he did that. But anyways, I took an offer on these for $119.95.
Yeah. These are really high end. I mean, they made...
Yes, Italy. in a very complicated boot. There's patent leather and fabric, all kinds of stuff going on these.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I had to look them up. You know, I didn't know they just looked like somebody put a lot of time into them. So, Dansko black pebbled stapled professional clogs, just plain old black. You know, you're gonna make sure they're in great shape. To, you know, keep the wear to a minimum. If the toes are scuffed, these are Danskos. Take some shoe polish to them. Just, you know, you can fix up the fronts. You can dress up the sole, you know, the edges. You can't fix the wear. So just make sure the wear isn't too bad on them. And, you know, the sizes are on the bottom. When you get to the bigger sizes, they tend to be unisex. So you're looking at men's or women's. So, yep.
And last but not least, we were at I believe it was a yard sale, wasn't it? Was it that churchyard sale I bought these at? I don't know, but anyway, there was two of these, two different brands, and I think I paid $5 for both of them. So,
didn't know if they worked. We didn't
have
have
no
any.
idea.
Yep.
We had a boat years ago and one of these kind of fish finders on it, but we have no way to test it these days. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just an interesting thing that, you know, it came with a transducer, I guess they call it, and so forth. So it had all the parts to it. Looked like it could work. I could plug this into a 12 volt just to see if it fired up. I didn't even do that. We just said parts only, and we sold it for $40. You know. That way you cover yourself if you're, you know, if it is something that's, you know, maybe that it doesn't work, because there's a lot of functions to the electronics.
Yes.
And it's just because it fires up and turns on doesn't mean it's going to, you know,
Find
a fish. So,
or prevent you from hitting the bottom.
Right.
I mean, you know,
and
we
if the
just
guy
don't
went
know.
out and didn't find any fish all day and he blame you and want to return it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, always just put parts only if you haven't tested it, if you don't know it. If you have a boat and you could test it and that kind of thing.
Or if it's your own item and you know it works great,
Right.
that's one thing.
Right.
But we don't get into that at all.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for today.
Yep.
All right.
So that should be it.
And please, if you could, I'm going to cut out a piece here. All right. So we're up to 65 subscribers right now, so we're excited. I mean, it's really cool talking. We've had some comments from people. People ask us questions. Is what we're here for. Let us know if you've got questions or anything, or comments, or if something you heard wasn't quite right and you think we need to correct ourselves. Let us know on that too. Give us a thumbs up. It helps move our channel up so people can find us. And if you feel the urge, please subscribe.
That wraps up this video. If you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see in future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.